Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, nice to see you again with me, Wahyuningsih. In this video, I want to tell you about hortatory text. Let me start. What will we discuss is about definitions, purpose, generic structures, and the last is language features. The first is definitions of hortatory text. Hortatory exposition is a type of persuasive text or oral material in English that is used to explain to the reader or listener that something is not allowed or should be done. Just like analytical exposition text, this type of text is also very popular in academic circles and can be found in scientific books, journals, magazines, newspaper articles, academic speeches, and so on. The next is about purpose of hortatory text. Purpose of hortatory text is to persuade the readers that something should or should not be the case or be done. Not only to persuade, but also to convince and reach audience agreement. And then generic structures of hortatory text. There are three generic structures of hortatory text. The first is thesis, the second is arguments, and the last is recommendations. The first is about thesis. Thesis is statement or announcement of issue concern. Arguments is reason for concern that will lead to recommendation. Recommendations, statement of what should or should not happen or be done based on the given arguments. Next is about language features. There are uh, 4 points about language features. The first is human and non-human participants. The next is mental material relational processes. And the third is simple present. And the last is numbering sequential transitions. Example of hortatory text. Music is for fun. Fun for learning English. Learning English through music and songs can be very enjoyable. You can mix pleasures with learning when you listen to song and exploit the song as a means to your English progress. Some underlying reason can be drawn to support the idea why we use songs in language learning. Firstly, the song stuck in my head phenomenon, the echoing in our minds of the last song we heard after leaving a restaurant, shopping malls, etc., can be both enjoyable and sometimes unnerving. This phenomenon also seems to reinforce the idea that songs work on our short and long-term memory. Secondly, songs in general also use simple conversational language with a lot of repetition, which is just what many learners look for sample text. The fact that they are effective makes them many times more motivating than other texts. Although usually simple, some songs can be quite complex syntactically, lexically, and poetically, and can be analyzed in the same way as any other literary sample. Furthermore, song can be appropriated by listeners for their own purpose. Most pop songs and probably many other types don't have precise people, place, or time reference. In addition, songs are relaxing. They provide variety and fun, and encourage harmony within oneself and within one group. Little wonder that they are important tools in sustaining culture, religions, patriotism, and yes, even revolutions. Last but not least, there are many learning activities what we can do with songs such as studying grammar, practicing selective listening comprehension, translating songs, learning vocabulary, spelling, and cultures. From the elaboration above, it can be suggested that learning through music and songs, learning English can be enjoyable and fun. Right. Let's we analyze the example of Hortatory text. The first paragraph is about thesis, learning English through music until some underlying reason can be drawn to support the idea why we use songs in language learning. The second paragraph is about argument 1, and then the third paragraph is argument 2, and the next paragraph is about argument 3, and the last paragraph is recommendation. The language features, the first is about human. There are learners, listeners, people, oneself, one group, and the next is non-human participant is music, songs, restaurants, shopping malls, culture, religion, patriotism, yes, even revolutions. The next is simple present. The first is you can mix, and the second is this phenomenon also seems. The next language features is relational processes. There are, this is some underlying reason can be drawn to support the idea why we use song in language learning. The last language features is about numbering. There is have firstly, secondly, furthermore, last. Right. I think that's all I can to explain to you. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.